Hi, I'm Kristen. So today what I'm planning to do is test out a rotary blade sharpener. So if you have a rotary cutter like this, you probably know after a while the blades get dull and you have to replace them and they can get expensive. But I bought this a few months back at a quilt show and I've not opened it because I already had some new blades. So, but I want to try it. I paid $9.50 for it. I'm not sponsored by this person. It says Quilted Bear, which is like a brand of a shop in the UK where I am, but it looks to me like something that's made in China that multiple people can buy and put their name on. I used to create products and things, so it's just what it looks like to me. So I feel like you could buy something that looks similar from different brand names and things. So I'll have a look, and if I can find some that look the same, I'll put the links in the description, but I'll try and find a link for this one for the UK anyway. But what I'm gonna do is what I've already done. So I have a sharps box that I use for old rotary blades and needles and things. And I went and took something out of it. It's not the point of a sharps box. You're supposed to not go into it. But anyway, I took out an old nasty one that I know I obviously thought wasn't cutting well, and I put it in there. So it's 45 millimeters. This thing says it does for 28 millimeters or 45 millimeters blades, so not for the bigger 60. But anyway, so I'm going to try for this. So I've got an Olfa cutter. It's got a blade in there, which I don't think is totally dull yet. So I'm going to take that one out and put it over there. And I'm going to get rid of all this lint while I'm at it. And then I'm going to put this used blade in and try it first. So I'll move the camera so you can see all that. And then I will open the package up and see whether we can get it sharp. So that's the plan. Okay, let me just move the camera. So I put in an old blade. So this is an Olfa blade, looks like. And I've just got some black fabric here. So here's what I did off camera. I'll show you in a second though, but this was pushing really hard. It would cut, not pushing that hard, and you have the string that's still joined. So you've probably seen that if you've, so I'm going to use this little bit here. So if I don't push that hard, of course this time it'll work. Yeah, there, if I don't push that hard, there's a little places where it just doesn't quite cut. So obviously still if you push hard, but there's reasons, lots of people why you wouldn't want to have to push that hard, right? So that'll be, and it's usually little things like that that cause me to change my blade. It's like I've cut and there's just a little bit of something like that that's just not gone all the way through. So it cuts, it just doesn't cut seamlessly, right? So that's the one we're going to test it on. So I'll take that out. Now, here we go. And open this up. Okay, don't need that. Let's see what it says here. So, oh, this is a magnet to help you pick this up so that you don't have to touch it. I don't have rotary blade fear. Perhaps I should, but I'd probably just pick it up. Anyway, that's what that's for. Boom. Cool. Okay. Use 45 millimeter bottom. Okay, so there's different sides. How does this work? 45 millimeter bottom cover, 28 millimeter bottom cover. How can you tell the difference? That's what oh, it says it on there. So that's the 28. Okay, so I don't need that because I'm doing a 45. Right, so this is a cover. How do I get the cover off? Let's see. Do I rotate it? Do I just pull it? Pull it. Pull it. Okay, right. So, okay, so you put the, looks to me just from this picture, like you put the blade on top of this thing with the 3 lines coming off of that. So let's use the magnet like I tell you to. Put it on. There we go. Okay. Insert the sharpener onto the bottom cover. Right, we've done that. I think this is, make sure marks of the top and bottom cover are at the same side. Where are the marks? Oh, this thing. I think it's these. Okay. So stick that in, I guess. Okay, I think I've got it lined up, right? It says no big gaps. I feel like I can see big gaps, though. But anyway. And then start to sharpen the blade by sliding the sharpener back and forth repeatedly. So which one is the sharpener? This one? can't slide it anywhere. I can turn it. I don't know if that's what I'm supposed to be doing now. Okay, so for me, this instruction was not super clear, but I've now figured it out. You're supposed to more like run it against a, almost like run it against a surface. So I watched another tutorial. I saw them do that. But to me, I mean, maybe that's what that's showing you to do, and maybe you would understand it, but for me, that didn't. So anyway, so I'm going to do that for a while, and then the instructions say you're supposed to turn the blade over and do it on the other side. So I will just do this. I don't know, I should probably choose a time, eh? It doesn't say how long you should do it for. I'm going to do it for a minute on this side, and I'll do it back and forth. I'll fast forward it for you. You don't have to watch the minute. Okay, so I think that's been a minute. And I'm going to take off the side that's got the blade on it and turn it over. I know I should be using that magnet, but I can't be bothered. It doesn't feel helpful to me. But go ahead and use it if you're scared of rotary blades. Okay, so now I've flipped it over. And you're supposed to make sure that these things are lined up. These, can you see those little pieces of metal? So I've done that. And I'll do this again. I've set my timer this time properly. Okay, so that's been a minute. I don't know, like it doesn't say how long. It just says for duller ones, you need to do it for longer. So I suppose if this doesn't work, I could do it for longer and see. All right, but let's try it now. So I've done it both directions. There's my thing, here it is. And this is an Olfa blade. Oh, wrong way. And, right, okay. So where's my little scrap we were doing it with? So. No, still having the same issue, I think. Yeah, I still have that. Where it's hanging on by a thread. Can you see that? So, not impressed so far. Let's put it in and try it for a little longer. Yeah? Okay. So it's worth noting, actually, my finger is starting to hurt doing this. I feel like I need to do a lot of pressure to make it make that grinding noise, which I presume is what's sharpening it. Let me try and do less pressure. I mean, you feel like you have to grip it. I don't know. Maybe you don't have to hold it as hard as I'm holding it, but I feel like I do. So if arthritis is your issue, I don't have arthritis, but if your issue is pushing a rotary blade that's a bit dull, because of arthritis, and that's why you're sharpening it, this might not help. So you might need to get somebody else to do it. I don't know. Anyway, so we'll do this for a little while longer. So we'll do 2 more minutes on this side, and my hand is hurting. I don't have arthritis, so if this doesn't work, then I'm just not sure this is worth the effort. Anyway, I'll talk about that later. Let's see. Hopefully it's going to work this time, though. All right, there's the timer. My hand hurts. I don't want to do this anymore. So, right, I'm going to take it out. This is the last test. I'm not doing this again unless it works awesome. Okay, right, so put that on there. You go on here. You go up here. Right, let's go. No, still have that. Now, obviously, if I push it and apply pressure, that's fine. But what you want is, like, if you had a brand new, fresh blade, if you put it in and you didn't press too hard, that wouldn't happen, right? And it's still happening. So I'm not super impressed here. I don't know. If you, well, yeah. So I wanted it to work. Yeah, it's just not. Like, that was even with a little bit of pressure. What else? What do I don't want to cut up all this. Right. So that was with some pressure, and that's fine. But there's with minimal pressure, and it's still catching. So I get that it says that if the blade's really dull, you need, maybe this is really dull. Maybe people change their blades more often than I do, and this is just like a ridiculous blade. But for me, you know, unless I can convince my husband to sit there and do that, I don't know if this is for me. because it hurt my hand, and it's not amazing. Can't say that it's amazing. No, see, look, it's still catching there. Yeah, but maybe I've got a nick. Is that what happened? You tell me if the issue is that there's a nick in the blade when that happens, because that's possible too. Maybe I'm trying to sharpen a damaged blade, and then I would be doing this a disservice, which I don't want to do. So I guess I could test how hard I need to press it. Should I try that with a different one? Okay, maybe I'll try one more little test. Don't do this at home, kids, okay? Or adults. Don't stick your fingers in the sharps box. All right, come out. I'm gonna try this one. Okay. All right. Because I just don't want to, you know, say this thing is awful and somebody's, you know, and it works for other people and I'm putting you off and it might save you money. Do you know what I mean? So, right. Okay. So this is it straight, like, let's put this one away. Straight out the sharps box, this one. Okay. I'm getting that thing. Maybe mine are all nicked. Right. So in order to get a, see, it's hard to measure how hard you have to push, I guess, with your hand. So I can get a cut, you know, I just have to press. And I just know that when I have a new blade, I don't have to press quite that hard. Oh, but can I be faced doing this again? I don't know. Oh, right. I'm going to try one more time for you guys. And if it doesn't work, I'm probably not doing it again. Okay. That's as much as I can do. I seem to be taking the rubber off the edge too. I don't know if that's supposed to happen. When I saw somebody else use it, it didn't look like it did that. Probably maybe because I'm using it on the cutting mat. Maybe I'm not supposed to do that. Right. I don't know how to use things. Have you noticed? I can't use lots of things. Right. Okay. Let's put this in here. Other way. I always want to put it that way. Right. Okay. Last bit of fabric that we are going to waste on this. Now, see, it's not. Okay, with pressure, even with pressure, it's still, see, I don't think this is, yeah. Okay, so that's my experience with that. If I press, I can get it to do it, but you'll know yourself. You don't want to have to press that hard. And even there, I'm still getting, okay. Right, so, okay. So I don't like doing this. I really wanted to like this, but I don't know that I do. So two things. One, I could be using it wrong because I'm me. And I use things wrong and I don't have the patience to figure out how to use them right. But I do think I read the instructions and I did look at another tutorial. So if it's that hard to figure out how to use a £9.50 product, maybe it's too hard to use. Two, I could be wearing out my blades way more than I should in general. So I might be not throwing them, not changing them and putting them in the sharps box until they're way past where anybody else would use it. I'm not sure. So you can let me know what you think about that. So if you have something like this, either this brand or another one, and it does work, one, tell me in the comments what the brand is. And if there's like any tricks about how to use it, if you saw me do something that is why it's not working, then let me know. Also, if you know that the thing with the threads that I'm complaining about is about getting like a nick or something in your blade, which I suspect it could be, like maybe you can't fix that with sharpening, in which case it's not the fault of this. It's just that I've damaged my blades and so they can't be sharpened, right? So then it might be just you would use this when you start to feel like you have to apply more pressure, not when you start seeing those nicks. So I don't know, like I'm not doing a totally scientific test. For me, I guess the way I use and possibly damage my blades, this might not work. And actually I just found it, for me, painful to use. If you have one and it works, does it hurt to use it? Am I applying too much pressure? Is that just what it is? I don't know. Let me know. The other things that I have tried in the past that also didn't work for me was a True Cut one. It's like long and blue. I don't even think it's their most recent version. So I think they've made a newer one. So there's like a long thing and you were supposed to run it through like this and I couldn't get it to work. Again, I might not have been applying the right pressure, using it right, whatever. And then the other one that I tried once that also didn't seem to work for me was the hack with the tin foil. If you've seen that, where you like put your rotary blade through tin foil, that didn't do much for me either. So for now, I think I'm still stuck buying new blades. But yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on whether I could be using this differently, whether I need to use it earlier. What do you think? So let me know, like, earlier in the lifespan of my blade. I mean, anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, and maybe, I mean, it's not expensive. So if you see it around, you could always give it a try yourself, and then let me know if it's just me or if it just doesn't work. Sometimes things are too good to be true, but I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't constantly sell them if it didn't work for anyone, right? So it must work for someone. Anyway, so, okay. So that's my less than scientific review. Hope it was helpful. And yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts, because I'm just one person, one quilter on YouTube. I'm not the definitive voice on this product. So do let me know what you think about it in the comments, and I hope to see you again. Thanks so much for spending time with me. Bye.